Hello.
You want aloe? Aloe vera?
I just said hello.
Oh. I thought you said aloe. Hi, hello. Hello.
Hi, welcome to the worst day of my life. My name is Cherish.
And I'm Megan. Probably talking too much.
That's fine. I mean, so the main idea of this podcast was mostly just sharing your stories because mine are so. I mean, everyone's stories are kind of
for sure.
not lame, but not as horrible as yours. I'm saying,
yeah.
So
it's fine.
So me sitting here listening to you talk, is perfect. I also just don't want to overwhelm you, making you think you have to talk the whole time, which is why I try to share things of my own, and why we should try to share an email.
Yeah.
Really quick. Do you want to?
Yeah. Gosh, what is going on?
Are you ready with those glasses yet? For fuck's sake.
Yeah, there's a huge smudge over the eye vision part. I had to wipe that off.
Alright.
Okay, let's get into I've got a brain mode. Okay. I have a brain. Okay. Hi all. I have a story about the worst/best ? Night I've ever had on Molly. That sounds like fun. At the time, I was new to recreational drugs. A little weed in my younger days, but nothing crazy. That all changed when I met the love of my life. He dabbled in psychedelics and told me I would probably really enjoy them also, so I decided to give it a shot. Do I sound really flat reading this?
It's okay.
Okay. I'm just
I'm not
very stoned right now.
That's okay.
Okay. We had taken them a few times together before this particular night, so I knew what to expect. But this night was different. We headed to what we call our Molly hole.
Do you want me to read it? Will it make you happier if I read it?
I don't know. I just feel like I'm like reading the Bible.
Okay. Let me try.
Or like a bedtime story.
Okay. You looked like you were reading a bedtime story.
I know. I felt like it, and I don't want to be.
Okay. I'm not going to start over. Okay. He dabbled in psychedelics. We headed to what we call our Molly hole. That's what they called me in high school. Imagine an outdoor... No.
Oh.
Imagine an outdoor storage area with Christmas lights strung up, bedding, and pillows. Oh,
that sounds nice.
Yeah, that sounds lovely. It was our private little sanctuary away from the real world. We settled in and got the music going. Pink Floyd, Beatles, Elton John, Sorry, I'm judging. Okay.
Well, yeah, I feel like you're the only person
I know,
in this world that feels that way.
I am. Megan loves all those things you just listed. Okay. The night was going great. We were flying high. Yes, ma'am. Now, at this point, the only thing I could think about was how I had to stay hydrated. Yes. The thought consumed my mind. I was absolutely certain that if I stayed hydrated, I would feel great the next day. After every song, I'd sit up, drink half a bottle of water, and smoke 3 cigarettes every single song.
Wow.
Whoo, doggy. A few hours in, I got this weird feeling in my gut. Yeah. The song ended, so I sat up to drink my water. The second I sat up, I projectile vomited, hitting the door in front of me full force.
Oh, wow.
I was mortified. Covered in my own vomit. It had to be pretty watery, though, at least.
Yeah.
I showered quickly and got back to the party of 2. For some reason, however, my brain did not comprehend that I did not need any more water, so I continued to drink.
Yikes.
Oh, goodness. Okay. Fast forward 2 hours later, and a familiar feeling creeped up into my stomach. I rolled over, and up it came. Vomit.
Oh,
All
no.
over me. All over the bedding. All over my poor, unsuspecting, high as a kite boyfriend. Oh, no. I wanted to die. Yeah, but he was high on Molly, so he probably just he's probably like, oh, it's like a warm, comfy blanket of
Yeah.
vomit on me.
Yeah.
That's like what Molly does. Everything's just like, oh, pleasant and wonderful. Like, you can puke on me again. It's cool.
I don't know.
Really?
My beg to differ. I don't think the warmth of vomit would make me feel
Have you
good.
been on Molly though? Like
Yeah,
you don't
I
care.
have.
Like everything's
Well,
just like
I don't know.
wonderful.
Yeah, I have.
Yeah.
I can't imagine.
Or at least you wouldn't care. You know? You'd be like,
I would probably care.
okay. Well, fine. Never mind.
I'm judging.
Okay.
No.
Yeah. Okay. I would care sober for sure. All over me, all over the bedding, all over my boyfriend. Wanted to die. Next thing I know, my boyfriend sits up, puts me in his arms, and asks me to marry him.
Whoa! He must have liked being covered in vomit.
Her vomit was
Vomit blanket.
Oh, so comfy.
Oh God. I guess I might. Maybe everybody else in this world would like that would be the deciding moment, but I guess maybe I could. Oh gosh, but that's
It doesn't
great.
even matter as long as it was
that's
his.
how much he was unconditional love.
Yeah, his deciding moment.
Yeah, that's actually really adorable.
Yeah. Who could say no to a man who proposes to you after you vomit on him? No kidding.
Wow, that's
Ooh.
like when you know that somebody really.
I'm a
loves you.
puker, so
Yeah.
like, yeah, I get it. Long story short, we're now engaged, and now when we take Molly, I keep a barf bucket next to me.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah, and limit the amount of water I have by my side. Yes, smart. Hope this made you giggle a little bit. Love the podcast and hope to hear it for years to come.
Oh,
Sarah.
Oh my gosh.
I don't think we have years in us, but we'll see, Sarah. Thank you.
I love that, but gosh.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh no.
I love though that that's the ultimate proposal.
Yeah.
You should just I feel like that's how you should just figure out if that is your soulmate. Is how they react if you vomit on them. You know?
Yeah.
If they ask you to bury them in that moment.
Yeah.
That's when
True
you know.
love.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so romantic.
Yeah.
I've never vomited on Patrick, but I've definitely vomited near him.
Yeah. Maybe I should vomit on Kenny and see what
Yeah.
happens.
Give it a shot.
I'm gonna practice tonight.
See if he proposes to you. See if it's real.
I'm gonna like take my penis straw and like put it a little bit too far down my throat and hit my gag reflex. And then just vomit all over him and see what happens.
Would you mind taking, like, just setting up your phone to record from, like, a corner somewhere before
When I
you
do this?
that?
Yeah.
I would really appreciate it. As would, I think, the world.
Yeah.
That's exactly what Molly did to me, though. I only took it once. Well, did I take it? Is it the same thing as...
Well,
What I took was, they called it back in the days when I took it a million years ago, it was like pure MDMA or whatever, you know?
yeah.
So it wasn't, they didn't call it ecstasy, they called it something, they just called it MDMA.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that is like a more.
But I don't know what Molly
I think
is.
Molly's more like. I feel like Molly might be like cut down with other. I don't think this is like pure. Like it's like pure MDMA. I'm not sure. Like I could be. I'm not. You know, this is not my area of expertise. But I don't know. I feel like there's something different about it.
Either
What
way,
it might be cut with.
yeah. Whatever it was, it was just wonderful.
Yeah.
And I never did it again after that because I loved it and I could totally see myself doing it all the time. So I was like, okay, no, I'm not going to do it again.
Yeah.
It was when I lived in that that apartment building in Seattle where all of my friends lived in all the apartments.
Like the one above the Wild Rose or something?
No, that was a different apartment.
Okay.
But this one, a few of us had apartments along the side where you could climb out of our window and be standing on the roof of the bar that's next door. So it felt like we had this big, awesome patio that we could hang out on and have big parties on and stuff.
Yeah. Hold on.
So this one day we're hanging out there and this dude, I don't remember his name, but he's like the drug dealer guy, comes over and he's got this backpack and he opens it up and he's got, pure MDMA or whatever it is. And everybody's like, ooh, yeah. And I'm like, all right, sure, why not? I'll try it.
Yeah.
So me and a bunch of my friends try it, and after, a very short period of time, we start just like turning on music and just like having the time of our lives.
Yeah.
Just like on this disgusting, dirty rooftop that's been just rained on and muddy and, gross. We're like rolling around on it and like petting cats and, doing whatever. But I also kept chugging water.
Yeah.
You get so thirsty, and it's like, it is important to stay hydrated. I think I had heard that too back then. And so, I was trying to, and I remember sitting and talking to someone. It wasn't anyone, I don't even remember who it was. I was sitting there talking to somebody, and I was like, telling them this story and that I was super excited about, and I felt, so great. I was like, the music felt so good. I was so excited. And middle of my sentence, I puke out of my mouth, mid sentence, no warning whatsoever, no slight gag, no nothing. Just vomit out of my mouth all over my clothes. And I was like, oops, well, I'm gonna go change my clothes, but I was just like, I still was like, do, just like, no big deal. Like, so I go to change my clothes, and I go into my friend Lauren's apartment, and she's playing Gorillaz. God, what was that song?
Oh,
Feel good, dun, 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 it feels good. That one.
Yeah.
That's the very first time I'd ever heard that song. And I was, tripping out, and I was just like, what is this song? And I was just like taking off my like puke covered clothes and like dancing to this song and just like getting naked in her apartment, and there's people in there. There are people in there that I don't even know. They're all over there to hang out for the party because everybody's spread amongst all these apartments, right?
Oh my god!
So she like shoves me in her closet. She's like, Cherish, and like puts a shirt on me, and I was like, thank you. And then I like keep going. I went and puked again right after that too. I remember
I
that.
cannot even imagine you like in the
And then I get out and I'm just like start dancing again, just like I was having so much fun. I loved it. So then
it's so hard for me to wrap my brain around the visual of this.
Well, I'm acting it out.
I know, but that's like making it even more like hard to wrap my brain around.
It was a very long time ago. So then I go back out to I start to go back out to one of the apartments that's along the side that has that big open deck where everybody's on E as well, and they're all rolling around out there and having fun and listening to music. I start to go back over to one of those apartments, and as I'm entering the hallway, I hear like stompy steps coming up the stairs, and I look down the hallway, and there's police officers coming up the stairs, and they're knocking on the very first apartment, which is, did I live in that one? Yeah. No, I didn't. I lived upstairs with that. No, I lived in that one. I lived upstairs. Okay. I lived in like a bunch of different apartments in that place.
No,
but
I get it.
But that front apartment's my friend Adam's apartment. He's like the building manager or whatever. He's like 20 years old or 21. Whoever put that guy in charge is like, whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, so they're knocking on that door, and I slither out of Lauren's apartment and creep up along the wall and go upstairs and go into my apartment and shut the door and lock it.
That doesn't look suspicious or anything.
I don't think they saw me.
Well, that's good because you're slithering.
But so I later hear the other end of that story because I just completely abandoned everybody down there. Like everybody, I didn't I don't think I said any. I have no idea. I don't know what happened, but from what I heard was that they came out on the deck and said that somebody had called them about yelling up there or something like that, or like a noise. It was like a noise complaint, basically. Right, and then, they all had weed smoking things out, which was illegal back then. So they just told them to like put it away and quiet down or whatever, and left.
Wow.
But that was my only experience with that.
Ring, ring.
Hello?
Cherish, you're not going to believe this.
What?
You know how I normally struggle with the D?
Yeah.
Diarrhea.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you're not going to believe this. Today, I strangely had a very rare occurrence of something known as the C. Constipation.
Oh, no. Have you ever heard about colon broom?
Colon broom? No.
It cleanses your colon and helps create regular bowel movements, improving digestion and your gut health.
Holy mackerel. Does it help your weight goals become easy to reach? And is it keto and fasting friendly?
Yes, it is.
Whoa.
And if you use promo code WORSTDAY10, you can get $10 off and free shipping.
No way.
Whoa. You should probably get yourself some colon broom and fix that C problem you've got.
I agree.
Okay, thanks.
Bye-bye. I mean, my first experience with it was kind of like I didn't really realize what I was doing, which was kind of dumb. But I was at Jake's.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like...
Jake's is a bar in Olympia.
Well, it was.
It was. Bad things tend to...
I know.
People get stabbed there.
I know, and like roofied and everything else crazy.
It used to be just
like
such it used to be a
assaulted.
really...
Yeah.
It used to be a really like safe, wonderful gay bar. Mm-hmm. Gay club.
Yeah.
Dance club.
Yeah.
It was where we would go to dance. And it was like where you felt safe because it was women and, mostly homosexual men. Mm-hmm. And then straight guys started catching on to that. And then they started going in there. And then they would creep up to you and start dancing on you because they saw that people would allow, more of that. Mm-hmm. Fucking sucked. And it just went downhill.
Yeah.
But anyway, you were there?
Yeah, I was there. And as you described, that's pretty much the vibe that was going on. And, so there was a particular person that at the time, like, I was, like, not dating or anything, but, like, hanging out with, for whatever reason, I guess, just, like, I don't know. I don't really know how to describe that situation very well. Maybe, like, a friends with a benefit situation, or I don't know. However... he had given me this substance, and I was like, at that time, like, pretty, like, kind of drunk, you know, off the weird like you have to buy like 10 drinks to like get a buzz. I remember just like always like having like when that the bartenders would just be really careful because they didn't want people like getting like way too drunk in there, so it just kind of felt like they didn't give you very strong drinks.
I don't remember that, but
Oh well, because there's like I think I was going when it was like they had like a deal. It was like Wednesday nights or something. You get like a
oh yeah, it's
like
like
some
the
kind of
women,
night.
girls' night or whatever,
something like that. Yeah, you get
ladies' night or whatever.
right.
Yeah.
They discount drinks, but they don't make them very strong.
Yep, okay.
So they drink like a lot of them.
Yeah.
Like 8 to feel like a mild, feeling. So anyway, but I've been drinking a lot of those. And then I was like, yeah. And I stuck my finger in the substance and then was just now suddenly on Molly.
What? Just from your finger?
Well, it was like dipping in, eating it,
Oh.
snorting it,
Oh.
whatever.
Oh.
But it was, I didn't know what I was getting myself into.
Oh.
So suddenly my Jake's experience like totally
Oh.
drastically changed.
Was it good or bad?
I guess it was in some ways good because I love dancing.
Yeah.
And so I just danced a lot. But then there was like also these weird moments of, some strange suddenly like
have to have
somebody's trying to have like rub a boner on you. Like I was like grind dancing.
You have to have a booty sitter at
I
Jake's.
get that now.
Because like
Yes.
that place, that specific bar is why I made that shirt that said please don't hump my butt.
I know. And that's why I always love that shirt so much because
Yeah.
that is exactly.
But you have to, like, every time I've been there, I've had friends come up, like, I'll just be standing there dancing, and then they'll suddenly reach their arm over my head and be like, no, excuse you, and, like, push some dude
Yeah.
off of me. And I'm
Right.
like, thank you.
I don't know. Do you remember like the first time that we went out on the town together with the group or whatever when we went out to that baseball game
When I was
and then
still
we
married
went
to
to
Dave?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we went to Jake's after that and with the other coworkers and then there's like just like they were getting really into it like surprisingly like I didn't think that like that coworker's husband would like let loose to the way
Yeah.
he did, but he was like getting in.
You probably weren't expecting that out of Dave
No,
either.
not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Because Dave was so, like, quiet and...
Shy.
Yeah.
But yeah. Hi, babe.
Hello.
How's it going?
Good.
Did we wake you up being loud?
No, I'm okay.
What's going on in your world?
Nothing. Just that Stanley was really crying. So
Oh no, he was.
I'm gonna cry.
He wanted to come out and see friends. He can be back. He can be back out here.
Yeah, he's fine.
He was barking at the kids getting off the school bus earlier. Is why I put him in there. And then you guys were cuddling, so it was really cute.
I'm proud of my young self for having that sense because I felt like that with a few different drugs that I tried.
Yeah.
I felt like that where I was like, oh man, that was fun and I want more right now. And I was like, I'm not gonna do that anymore.
Right.
Like, I'm really glad that I had that sense because some of those things, man, I remember doing that with cocaine.
Well, yeah.
Having that feeling of like, oh, it's starting to go away. Oh, I want more. It's starting to go away. I want more. And I was like,
wow.
oh, ooh, nope,
See,
never mind.
It's so
Not
funny.
doing
Like, it's so funny that like for some people that it affects them that way. I mean, this is why I waited until I was almost 40 years old to do like, I mean that one occasion with the Molly that happened earlier. I was like, I'm not going to do that again because I was basically just like being some weird. I felt like I was being like some weird, like too touchy feely for being out on the town.
Yeah, you should be in a safe, comfortable place
Yeah.
when you do any drugs.
Yeah.
I feel like.
Yeah. No. So I didn't really like that day after being like, oh my
101.
God, like what was I doing? Like grinding on these people and like I don't know. So but with things like cocaine especially just because like my mom loved that like through the 80s or whatever or like living in Southern California it was just like everybody's doing cocaine.
I get it.
And she was just like partying like it's 1999 all the time, like dancing, Prince, like all kinds. She's like,
if I was your
really-
mom in the 80s,
Oh my god,
girl.
that's how she would. So she
Oh my
would.
God.
That's how she got addicted to it because my dad had like really high standards of how the house had to be like super mega
Yep.
clean, and so she would do a bunch of lines in the morning and clean the house like to the standards that he wanted it to be like go around with a white glove, kind of like, you know, check for dust if you missed something. It was like he would just like berate you or whatever, like you missed a spot kind of person. Stanley. So my mom would do like tons of cocaine and she'd just like blast Prince or whatever was
Yeah.
like go, you know, like her dance music.
Did she dance like with her like lots and lots of hips?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and she was also like a part of this, it was called like Racquetball World. There was like this, and they did jazzercise.
Yep.
And so it was like those times.
Cool.
And they would go play like racquetball. She was very like into like being like athletic and like, I mean, she was at that time, she was always like really like slender anyway.
Right.
You know, and so she just like had that build. And she like tall and stuff, so she's just like, I don't know, that was the 80s. But she loved it so much. And so she would do that like all day. And then at night she would drink a bunch of alcohol to like come down.
Yeah.
And then just like go through the cycle. So like simultaneously she became like addicted to like both like cocaine and alcohol to like be able to just like function.
Yeah.
You know, she was doing so much of it. She was doing so much of it that she was like, she would go into a blackout and end up like in Compton and like not know how she got there, but she was going there to like get drugs and stuff.
Oh my God.
Yeah, she said one time, she told me the story, her and her neighbor, who she was friends with, that they also like love to party and like do a lot of like blow together. And she was fun. Like the neighbor, her name was Heidi. And she was dating Don Johnson at the time from Miami Vice.
Oh my God, yeah.
And so her and my mom were like super into cocaine. They went to Compton to go get cocaine.
Yeah.
And she said the part, or wherever they went, I don't know if it was an apartment, a house, whatever, that they went, she said it was like a scene from like Scarface. They just had like mounds of cocaine everywhere and like heavy duty, like gun shit, everything, like guns everywhere.
Yeah.
And just piles
Suits.
of cocaine. Yeah, well, and they were playing poker. And one of them asked my mom to hold his cards. Well, they asked her, like, do you know how to play poker? And she was just like, oh, yeah, you know, like, sure. And he asked her to hold his hand while he went to, like, the bathroom or something. And my mom, like, asked, like, the guy next to her or something about, like, is this, like, a good hand or, you know?
Oh, no.
And the guy, like, saw, like, they were playing for big money. There's,
Oh,
like,
no.
stacks of money, like, everywhere. And he pulled a gun to my mom's head. He was going to blow my mom's, because he had, like, a lot writing on that particular hand or
guy that
whatever.
went to the bathroom was
Yeah.
gonna pull the gun
Who
on her?
had, yeah, he pulled a gun on her, like, to, like, her temple and was, like, pissed that, like, she fucked up his poker game.
Oh, God.
And they had to, like, beg, you know, for, like, him not to shoot her. And
Well,
get
who
out of
asked
it.
somebody to hold their cards while they go to the bathroom? Set your cards down, face down.
Yeah, but it was the fact that she had said she knew how to play poker before, you know. She's like, yeah, I know how to play poker, and then didn't really. So, I don't know. It was just apparently a scary situation.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, meanwhile, like, you know, nobody knew where she was.
Yeah.
She was just, like, disappear, and nobody knew. Like, before she had to go into, like, treatment center. But, which was another weird craziness of her. I think she went to, like, actually a really nice treatment center, like, in Malibu or something, like, at the time. And she was just gone for, like, pretty much, like, a year.
Where did you go?
Well, that was complicated.
Oh, we can talk about that later if you want.
It doesn't matter. I mean, like, it is what it is. I hate that saying, but it really just is what it is. But no, so I went one morning. She was freaking out. I guess she had tried to quit, like, cold turkey, which is really dangerous when you're in that heavy of an addiction. So she she was like hallucinating and stuff, and like I guess you can like have seizures and all these things. So she was in her bed, screaming, freaking out, and she was insisting that there was like black hooded, faceless things coming out of her closet to come and get her, like kind of like describing like Grim Reaper type stuff, and it was like she was really seeing these things. Fuck. Like so
scary.
Yeah, because she was totally hallucinating. But I was little. I was like 7. I didn't know. Like it seemed like she was really seeing, these things. So just like, it was terrifying.
Poor baby.
Oh, well, I mean, I just at that time, like in those years, like I kind of took the role of like I would take care of my mom, like especially if she got sick. I'd have to like clean up after her, or she was just not functioning very well, and so. It was good that she went to the treatment center.
Yeah.
But it was just terrifying. And, like, she called a cab. Somehow she had enough sense to call a cab. And then she swears to this day that this guy was like an angel. But he drove her to the treatment center and, like, dropped her off to go check in. And she went back out because she'd asked him to wait for her. And it was like he wasn't there. And, it was like he was like almost like he was like never there. Like she like didn't see him like ever pull out or leave or anything. So she was like insistent but she's also like just tripping.
Yeah.
But for her that was like her like she
Yeah.
felt like that guy like saved her life.
Yeah.
Because he got her and she had to like do massive like detox and stuff.
It's just so much better to do it at a facility.
Yeah.
Than at home.
Oh, for sure.
Fuck that.
I know. But she was trying to like brave it out, I guess,
Yeah.
and like
I
not
can see
want to
that.
admit that she had as big of a problem that she did. But like, yeah, she was just doing really super dangerous like stuff, and I'm glad she went, but yeah, no, I stayed for a minute with David Gamble and then quickly I was like shuffled off to the neighbors that weren't. We had these one neighbors that would help us because like my dad would frequently like throw us out of the house in the middle of the night. Like he and my mom would get in a fight and he would like throw us out of the house and like lock us out and like wouldn't let us back in. And we would often like go to the next door neighbors that lived to like the immediate right of us. Mm-hmm. Or I guess left, depending on which way you're facing. Anyways, there were these like Harley Davidson like, and they were like totally into meth at that time. But they were like Harley Davidson, like Hell's Angelish type people. But they would take us in, like my mom and I, and they would give us like a place to sleep overnight because my dad wouldn't let us back, in the house, or if we needed to like escape or whatever, So they were really cool, but they were hardcore.
Yeah.
And they had this like teenager-ish daughter that, well, that's like a whole nother story. But anyway, we would go stay there. But when I'm not really sure like what happened with living with my dad, but I'm pretty sure it had something to do with the like sexual abuse stuff because I was peeing my pants a lot and I was like too old to be peeing my pants.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
With
And
sexual
so I was like,
abuse.
and really embarrassing, like especially like at school and stuff, and like always trying to like cover up or like take sheets off of the bed and like not wanting anyone to know anything was going on.
Well, and he was the psychotic OCD germaphobe as well, right? As well as being the abuser, so
it's
like had to hide it from him too.
Yeah, exactly. So, but anyway, he suddenly
hug baby Megan.
Yeah, baby Megan was like, I don't know how I survived. I told Savannah this, like, I sent her, like, a video recording of myself talking to her, but I was just telling her that, like, she really did save my life.
Yeah.
Like, I was so suicidal, like, during all those years. Even when I was, like, way what would seem too young to, like, just, like, want to just be dead, I was just, like, didn't want to be... I just, like, mad. I was, like, really mad that, like... Yeah. I don't know. I was just, like, I wished my mom had had an abortion. Like, I just was, like, this is not, But I don't know. It was just like fucked up times. But yeah, so I went and lived with these like down the street neighbors. That was somebody that I went to elementary school with, because I knew all these kids from like preschool and stuff, like up until 5th grade. Like we all, like they were like the neighborhood kids and stuff. But it was really super embarrassing to like
of
go
course.
live with, you know.
Of course.
Yeah, and so I lived with them for a bit. Like, I think it was just like for like, you know, like I think it was, they were just to help out, give me a place to stay for a short period of time until the next thing could be like kind of figured out for me. And then and I remember peeing my pants like at their house and just being like so ashamed, because it was really a nice house and like the sheets were like white, and it's just, I just remember like knowing that their mom, because she like did all the laundry and stuff, she was gonna know. I was just like so embarrassed. Anyway, but they were really nice.
Yeah.
I think they may have even gone to the same church we went to or something. I don't know. But really nice. And then suddenly I was in Tucson living with my grandma and grandpa for like for all, like the rest of 1st grade, I guess. Or
Yeah.
all of 1st grade. And then when my mom was like better, I moved back, you know, to California. And then she was pregnant with my brother from the guy that she met at the treatment center.
Oh.
And while she was still married to my dad.
Oh.
And then my brother was like conceived by that guy, like I think in like a foolish moment or whatever kind of thing, like in between floors on an elevator.
Nice.
That's where he was conceived. But my dad knew it wasn't, my brother wasn't his, because he'd had a vasectomy.
Oh.
But he made my mom lie about it, that he was my brother's biological father. Like, and they just like, and she didn't want anyone to know.
Yeah.
And, she wanted to leave my dad for that guy, but he was so controlling, he like wouldn't let her out of the marriage or anything.
Yeah.
And he just said that we're just going to pretend like this is my kid, you know, for
Yeah.
the next 8 years of his life. And then, that was even another crazy, but yeah, so she was sober for that whole period of time, and then for a while things were like pretty good, but I always wished that I was still at my grandma and grandpa's house. Like I just would cry like for them, because I got so close. Like I'd sleep in a twin bed with like my grandma.
Yeah.
She was just
That's
like
very close.
I know. She was just like the most wonderful like woman ever, and I just like loved my grandma. And so
you had comfort.
yeah,
Finally.
I know. I just like wanted to stay there forever, but
You sweet baby.
yeah, my mom stayed married to him, and he just kept being more and more horrible for this next several years until she finally left him when I was like, I don't know, I guess finally left him when I was like, I guess 16.
Yeah.
She was like married to him for 13 years, and he was just like,
That's a long time.
yeah, I mean, that's why my mom is like, I know like a lot of the things, especially like me growing up, she was just really trying to, I don't know, she was just really young, and he was a lot older than her too. Like, and he provided financial stability for
He had
us.
total control. Yeah.
But it's weird, because like you live in these neighborhoods and stuff. Like for us, that was the hardest part, was that I would like self-inflict pain on myself. Like I would like do like I would take like one time I took the end of a hairspray bottle and just started bashing myself over and over again in my eye, because I wanted to give myself a black eye.
Eyes.
Well, I wanted to give myself a black eye because I wanted somebody at school to like
Notice.
because he would abuse you, but in ways that your body, like, you could cover up.
Right.
Like when he would like, you know, like spank me like with the belt
Yeah.
until, you know, like my butt was like, you know, raw or whatever. It was like that. No one could see that.
Yeah.
You know, but I wanted someone to see it, because I wanted someone to like say something, but I couldn't. Like I wasn't brave enough to just say that's what was happening. But it looked from the outside like we totally looked normal family.
It makes me so sad, because not only just knowing that you went through that, totally breaks my heart, But knowing how many people,
Oh, I know.
how many
Yeah,
little baby
suffer and
children
struggle like that. Yeah.
are just so miserable and can't.
Yeah,
and
I hate it.
Nobody knows.
I know. I hate it. I'm like, well, for me, like, sometimes, like, I look at a little kid, and I can tell, like, I can see that same, like, I recognize that look in their
pain.
eye, yeah, or like just their demeanor, and it breaks my heart because I know that something like that is going on, like, behind closed doors, and it makes me sick, and like, there's like not a lot that you can really do, unless somebody wants to get out of that, situation. People on the outside, if it's like very hidden, a lot of times don't know what's going on, and that's what's really scary, especially about like watching so much crime. It's like everybody's like, oh yeah, like so and so is just like a great member of the family. Like we never thought they were capable, it was like of doing something horrible like this, like murdering their spouse or loved one or whatever. And it's just like, but you could see how that's festering inside of somewhere. And I'm pretty sure, like, my dad definitely tried to like I know like that he tried to like kill me like when I was really little.
Really?
Yeah, because like my mom was gone and like she left me with him, and I could be a little like, I like to stay up late, and he told me it was time to go to bed, and I looked at him and I told him no. Like, I was just like, but he came after me, and we lived in like a 2-story house, and I like went running up the stairs, but I was like little, and I was like running, and I tripped on one, and I just like went down like face first or whatever into the stairs, and he just grabbed me and turned me over and had me by my neck, and he was choking me out to the point where I like blacked out. Like I was just asleep from that point on. I mean, I eventually like woke up, but and he was also, while he was doing that, he was just like throwing me into the stairs. Like, so I was just like hurting my little body.
Oh my God.
And I was small enough to like where like my mom was still giving me a bath, like in the bathtub, like assisting me in the bath. And she saw like the bruises, like I had bruises, but I had like choking marks like on my like neck.
Oh
like,
my
and
God.
that's how hard. And that's like why I was talking about like recently somebody was saying like about how they went to the doctor and it's like, like they were having a problem with their like ribs because of, like sustained abuse, being like kicked or whatever happens. But like that happened with like when I went to like the chiropractor, and he was like pointed out that the damage to my neck that I have like bad arthritis and stuff in is from like that happens when like somebody's like choked to that point. Yeah.
Fuck, dude.
Anyway, but it's just always such a sick realization because that's like, it does happen to like a lot of people, and it's really scary.
Yeah.
And I hate it. Like, I don't know. Stanley, you quit going around trying to stick your dirty nose into everything and smell everything. You're a stinky wink. Anyhow, but gosh, I don't know. I just wish my mom would find like peace.
Yeah. Well, it's gotta be, I mean,
That's like totally drove her to what I feel like was like just, I mean, why wouldn't it? But
yeah. I mean, I know you're not supposed to like compare, trauma or things like that, but like, I feel like I went through like very, very little, and it still affects me so much that I can't imagine a lot of the things that both you and your mom and your brother and Patrick and, I just, so many people I know have been through so many horrible things, and it's like, it's gotta just
well, I mean, I think
be hard.
I think that like I guess with that whole like, not comparing like trauma or anything or the effects of it is simply that, because I mean anything like can happen, like one terrifying moment especially, but it's like so it really like has a lot to do with like, you know, things that have happened like especially in like childhood, you know, it's like where it's really like it's like kind of laying out a path for your future almost, you know, like it's like you're at a like a vulnerable time, but anything can happen. Oh, it's a tsunami siren, but it's probably just the testing. It hasn't, but my phone would go freak out.
I don't like tsunami sirens.
Well, the good thing is that we're really close to the evacuation place.
Oh, good.
Alert thing, but they do test the siren. That happened like our first date. The tsunami siren like went off. Was it our first date? I don't know. It may not have been our first date, but it was like not living here, but I was like I had stayed here and it went off, and I was like, are we supposed to do something? Like, do we need to like evacuate? I was like, so and he's just looking out the window and he's like, I don't think so. And I was like,
I don't see the ocean coming.
yeah, I was like, but this is a siren.
Yeah.
Like going out, you're so calm, like cool, calm and collected about it. And I was like, he's like, yeah, no. So I don't think so. I think we're fine. And I was like pacing around. I'm like, do I need to get in my car and like take off? Like try to go back to Dodie? Like get the fuck out of here? And he's just, oh yeah, I don't think it's real. But it's because they do it like regularly, like the testing.
Right. You gotta make sure it works.
Yeah. But it's so creepy when it happens. I hate it. Like I was out hiking around the lake one day and it went off and I was like, that would just be so perfect if I could not flee because I'm like deep in these like wooded areas.
Because you're so scared of drowning too.
Yeah. Oh, God, I would hate it. I would hate it so much. I just don't like anything like that suffocation feeling.
Yeah.
I really don't like what you were describing earlier about, or, you know, when you were describing about the like that ride. It made me think about the time I was actually with Dave and we went to go see that movie. I think it's called Gravity.
Yeah.
But we sat in the car first and like smoked a bowl. And then we went into the movie theater and I went to like a full blown panic attack just
I did
watching
watching that movie.
I think we watched it in 3D too. And the sensation of just being
you can
like,
feel her panic.
Yes.
Like you can feel her. Oh yeah.
And I was like clenching because when I start panicking, the person next to me, I start clenching their arm. My fingernails were like digging into their flesh, and I was like, I have to take a break. And I was like, went out and just like stood out in the outside the theater or whatever. So it's like freaking out. Went to the bathroom. Was like standing like. Like, do I go back in there? Do I risk this again? Like, it was just. I think
it
we even
gets
had to leave.
more stressful.
Yeah,
as it goes.
Yeah. I can't remember what we did, if we stayed through. I just remember the entire time, like, I was just so... And I was trying to talk myself out of it, too, because I was like, this is not real. It's just a movie. Like
She's okay.
Yeah. Like,
it's Sandra Bullock.
Right. And then there's that kind of, like, cheesy point where they're, like, there's, like, a... To me, it was cheesy. But, you know, I don't know. I'm not the expert on opinion, but, like, they're in that one... And, like, starts, like, the romance starts, like, happening and, like, some kind of song. It's, like... Usually when they try to, like, make, like, an intense movie, like, suddenly, like, turn, like, this, like, romantic thing, and it's, like, I don't know. It just didn't, it was, to me, it was, like, not working.
Yeah.
The scene, like, it grossed me out, and I think that was when I, like, started kind of, like, coming to.
Oh, it was George Clooney?
Yeah.
Okay.
And they, like, did, like, some embracing thing, and there was just, like, this, like, weird, like, they're embraced. I don't know. It was just, anyway, but,
stressful movie.
Yeah, just that
damn.
sensation.
But yeah, that's exactly like that's what my fear is about, like rooted in about with claustrophobia. Like the real general idea is I'm going to be stuck here and I'm going to run out of air or I'm going to starve to death or I'm going to, you know, whatever.
Yeah. That's why I don't like to sit on the inside of like the table or the booth. Like anything.
Because you're
like,
going to be
like
You're gonna
And it's, like,
suffocate.
used to freak out like going to shows at a certain venue in Olympia where I was like always thinking like if something went wrong, there's like 2 tiny exits and like to try to like so many people would be stuffed in there.
Ooh.
And then I was like, you wouldn't be able to escape fast enough depending on where you were standing. So I'd always like want to stand
Right
closest
next to the exit. Yeah.
like so I had like a getaway. Like, but it made me so uncomfortable because I was just imagining like if something went wrong, like people just like crowd, like you know, like crowd of people that just suddenly is in panic, like hysteria, and they just like
yeah.
trample you
Yeah.
and don't care. They're just trying to get to safety. And just like I always get crushed. Somehow I get like always get like smushed.
I have this problem where I'm always getting crushed.
But no, I remember my mom took me to this swap meet. It was like this huge swap meet in Tucson, and it was like at the convention center, and it was a big deal. Like people crowded around for the minute they opened it because it was just like filled this huge entire kind of like a giant like auditorium with swap or not like with like things that you would find at like a thrift store, like really cool things.
Yeah.
But like the closer we were at the front to getting the cool things, like people were just like in this frenzy to like find like the best things. It was
Yeah.
like running. It's like Black Friday, I guess,
Yeah.
like when you
Ugh.
open the doors of something and like, but people would just go nuts. And so I remember being like kind of like, I don't know how old I was, but I was small enough. I'm still get crushed now if something goes on, but like I just got like smothered in like weird strangers that smelled weird, and I was just like, like
That's what I
smushed
think we're
into-
basically the same height, but you end up being like armpit height for a
where
lot
you're
of
like
people.
smelling, you're like smelling their hair
Hate
and
being
their
in a crowd.
armpit or like anything or their butt. They fart. It's just I
don't want to smell anyone else's bodily fluids. I don't want them
Unless you want to.
No, yeah, I don't want them anywhere near me.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, I hate it even when just like standing at the bar and I feel some stranger's like hair brush against my skin that I don't know. I'm just like, ugh. I don't know. Is that weird?
No, I think I hate people.
Yeah. Well, I
I
have
do.
a very like select few.
I think before COVID, I was already, you know, like introverted, and I think since then I'm extra. I'm just like anytime I'm just in a crowd of strangers. If I'm with a bunch of people I know, I'm of course fine.
Yeah.
But crowds of strangers in stores or just anywhere,
yeah.
I just I want them away from me. Like
Yeah.
stay away.
That's like another weird thing that I kind of like had to train myself to just deal with. Even though I'm like super uncomfortable on the inside, I'm just like freaking out. Like I try to make it not seem that way on the outside. Like that I'm like cool, calm, and collected in some place that's like heavily crowded. But usually I'm like just internally like freaking out.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, like trying to be social and fun.
I do the
but
same
I'm just
thing.
like, ooh, like internally, and that's why I drink so much because I'm
Yeah.
just like immediately I'm like super uncomfortable. I have to drink like a lot.
That's why I
to-
frantically puff on my weed pen because it's like,
But then you end up drunk and like now like the
Stoned.
the weirdo at the
Yeah.
event or
Like,
whatever it is.
what happened to this person?
But yeah, I don't know. I just like, for me, I don't know if I've talked about this before when I got like my hide and go seek like went bad with the beanbag chair. Have I talked about that?
No.
Oh.
I know this is gonna be scary. Okay, tell me.
So this is really when my like initial claustrophobia like really set in, or also there were some other things that caused me claustrophobia, but this was the ultimate like one where my little childhood friends and I were like playing hide and go seek in my house, and I thought that like the ultimate hiding place would be in my beanbag chair, like inside my beanbag chair. So I like got inside of my beanbag chair and like zipped it back up and everything, and then I tried to lay still. Well, then I realized it was like getting really hot in there. I started like freaking out, and I started panicking. I started hyperventilating, and I was like inhaling the foam balls.
The little balls. Oh.
Yeah, and so I was like choking on them.
Oh,
so,
no.
like the more I was like trying to breathe, like the more I was breathing in, and like the more I was like they were like going into my like whatever, and I started like freaking out and like flailing around so someone would see me because I was just like couldn't get myself out of the beanbag chair. It's
Oh
so
my
stupid.
God.
Like you would think that was a good idea, but it freaked me out so
You
bad.
totally could have died.
I know. I think about that sometimes.
Oh,
but I also think that would be like such a terrible like death. How like at the obituary, Megan died inside of a beanbag chair. I could not die like that. You know? So I didn't.
Good job.
survived.
Good job.
Yeah. But it was sheer terror.
Let's see if you can die a funnier way than that.
Yeah, and then there was also a time that my mom got too drunk and like forgot about me on the beach, and I went in like the ocean and got carried away by like a whatever at the tide, and I was like drowning out there.
Oh my god!
So that's why I was like super freaked out. But just that suffocation, like the suffocation feeling, is not how I you know you don't get to choose. You don't get to pick and choose. But I wouldn't want that to be the way I go out. Just being like, I don't know, or buried alive. Oh my gosh, I feel so horrible. Anytime I ever hear about anyone buried alive, like I'm just like I freak out. Like I hate it. I hate the thought of it. I hate the thought of people like back in the day that thought they were dead and put them in a coffin and buried them, and they like tried to claw their way out.
And then they had to start putting bells.
God, yes.
They had to start putting bells in their coffins so
God.
that they could.
It's the worst like thought of Anyway,
Fuck you, Megan.
yeah. Hopefully, no serial killer is. Hey, he's seeing like gnats or something. I don't even know what he's doing. Stan,
Every time I'm here, he's like freaking out over nothing.
because he's trying to show off. He wants the attention on him. He loves to be the center. Stanley is a person who loves to be the center of attention. He was eating up how much like all the people at the Razor Clan Festival thought he was great. Mm-hmm. So he's just like, you know, sitting in his like proper way and
So handsome.
you know, like trotting around and then also sometimes being an idiot because he was like in his harness and he'd see a dog he wanted to play with, so he'd try to like he'll just like start backing up to try to pull his face out. Ugh. And sometimes he has gotten himself out, which is scary because then I don't know what he's going to do. But he just wanted to play. Like there's dogs that he found a girlfriend who was like this tall, really like long-legged beauty. She was like maybe I think she was a Great Dane Greyhound mix. She was like crazy long legs, but she had a hardcore crush on Stanley. Aww. And she kept trying to get his attention and like barking and stuff. Aww. And then she would be like look over at him and he wanted to play with her too, and he was trying to like it was so cute. It was like this weird love relationship blossoming between the two of them, and I was just like, oh, I wish we could just let them go and play. But quit doing that. You know you're being annoying. One time he got so mad that James and I were having a conversation and we weren't paying attention to him that he got up on, like, in between us and got up on the ottoman and just, like, stared at us. Like...
Yeah, he's an attention diva.
He is an attention diva, for sure. Whore. I was going to say that too, but I was trying to be PC. Stan, you just know you're the most handsome creature in this world. Don't you?
It's so sad. I was just thinking that time when we were talking and not recording because I came back from the bathroom and didn't push record again.
Yeah.
When you're talking about doing knifers.
Oh, yeah.
But I think I also cut out the part that we were laughing about, or I think I also missed the part when we were laughing about my dad not being able to make it through an episode.
Oh no.
I know, it was so sweet. It's okay. We enjoyed it together in real life.
Yeah. It's true.
Poor sweet daddy.
Your dad seems like a great dad.
He's a good dad.
Yeah.
You're a great dad.
Yeah. Like I think usually pretty suspect about dads. That's why I think for like a long time, like I was like, yeah, really paranoid, especially about like predators and stuff. And I always had like the app that like let me know like where all the like registered sex offenders were within
Yeah.
a range. And like Savannah was not even allowed to walk because I had like when I was little living in California, I was like I rode my bike far. Like, I
Right.
would ride my bike all over the place. I would like go to the park all the time by myself.
We all did that kind of shit.
Yeah, I'd stay out until the lights came on. You know,
Then
but,
you go home.
Yeah, but it's like Savannah. Like I wouldn't even let her walk a block down the road
Fuck
without
no.
a buddy system.
No, I wouldn't do that with Sophie either.
Yeah, and
Even now in like our very safe town, I'm just like, I don't know.
But the thing of it is that like I don't know. I think Kenny and I were maybe talking about this. I can't remember, but it's like these things have always been going on, like you know. But it's like now more people like pay attention to it more, you know, or
Right.
see it kind of differently than like you know just turning a blind eye and wanting to like look good for appearances, you know, but
Right.
really like behind the scenes, like. But
And
I don't know.
people nowadays are more apt to stand up for themselves.
Yeah, but in terms of like, I guess like in like a serial way, it was crazy like how like especially in like the crime documentaries like really things did like kind of like shift when there was like the high like the freeway or whatever like installed where there's just like an easy way to like do a bunch of crime and then like all that like chunk of time that crime was just like going out of control in California.
Yeah, and
You
you
know?
could. They couldn't share information between,
Yeah.
whatever, between.
Oh,
Jurisdictions.
Oh, yes, yes.
Okay.
your face when you were trying to say that. I hope Kenny and Sophie aren't feeling like we're shutting them out of the real world.
Yeah, no, we should go hang out with them. I think we should go do something and watch the
Yeah, let's
sunset
do it.
on the beach.
Yeah,
or
let's
something.
do it. Let's do it.
Okay.
Yeah, because they've been...
We have lots more to talk about on these general subjects. I know I have a lot more claustrophobia to talk about.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, we'll just talk about it next time.
Let's talk about it next time.
Let's do that.
Let's do that. Let's
Oh my
go.
God,
Let's take advantage of the sun because that's not been hanging around
Yeah,
lately.
we're Washingtonians. We need to soak the sun and I can
Got
see
that
it.
vitamin D.
Well, thank you so much for listening, and just remember that it could always be worse.
Yes, it could always be worse.
We'll see you
Next
Tuesday. Bye.
Bye-bye.